If you were born in the 80s or 90s or maybe even the very early 2000s, you might have watched one of the greatest animated series of all time, Avatar The Last Airbender. So yeah, that show was really good. I mean, it had this thing about like being episodic, like each episode having its own story, but still having a very larger overarching narrative, which was I know how to describe it. It was really good. It was really well thought out. The world was well thought out because I don't know, the magic system they had was pretty solid and made sense. And of course, the character. It was a character-driven story. I mean, Katara, Sokka, Toph, they all had their character development, and by the end, they defeated. Oh yeah, spoilers by the way. By the end, they defeated the big bad without killing him, mind you, because Aang was a good guy. Basically, that show was good. Okay, I'm not some freaking video essayist of show reviewer of movie reviewer. I just say things are good. Okay, thing good. I like. Okay, so you must have heard that Netflix is having some kind of reboot, remake, remaster of the show. So live action, of course, as Netflix always does. And here's the news. It says that Netflix's Avatar reboot aims to please Game of Thrones fans. Showrunner says. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be good. This Avatar show is gonna be the greatest remake of all time. I'm telling you. See this? See these bozos over here? We have Aang, we have Azula, I think, and we have Zuko. They are gonna be the greatest live action perform. Oh, we have Katara here as well, and Sokka, and Momo, and is Appa. Oh, okay. We only have Appa's back hair here, but yeah, Appa's basically in the picture, but this is gonna be the greatest freaking show of all time, guys. So Netflix's let's see here. The showrunner Albert Kim was asked in an interview. He said this is should be seen as a remix, not a cover. I mean, yeah, I like remixes. I like covers as well, but okay, I've used the term this is a remix, not a cover, and that you've got to hit a lot of familiar notes, but you can't forget that this is supposed to be a new song. I mean, yeah, amen, sir. Amen. This is going to be a new song, not the same old Avatar. Amazing Avatar The Last Airbender with 3 books and amazing character development of all our protagonists. So obviously there are story points and characters that you have to do fairly faithfully. Translating 2D. Of course, Kim went on to discuss the goofy elements, okay, difficulty handling. For us, it was about striking that right balance of making sure you were true to the DNA of the original. But at the same time, we had to make it a serialized Netflix drama, which meant it couldn't just be for kids. I mean, sure, Avatar The Last Airbender was for kids, but I mean, even as an adult, we like it. I mean, the story is very much like, well, for all ages, in my opinion. I mean, it speaks to any age group because it was just a very solidly entertaining show. You know, there were the stories, the I don't know, the values of the story. It had to also appeal to the people who are big fans of Game of Thrones. And so it had to feel grounded and mature and adult in that way too. I mean, okay, I like me some Game of Thrones. I freaking love Game of Thrones. Of course, I've only read the books. I have only recently watched the series, and I had stopped by season 4, by season 5. I did not want to see past that because I am waiting for the next book. So I love Game of Thrones. But this is just freaking weird. I mean, this is really good. This is really amazing. Wow, Albert Kim, you are very much impressing me. But yeah, this why do they feel like they need to do that? I mean, this kids show had to talk about the theme of killing, because Aang did not want to kill Fire Lord Ozai. You know, I mean that seems like not a very kid thing to me. This show handled mature themes, even though it was veiled as a kid show. And that's freaking weird, because even now, even as an adult, even as an old ass guy, you don't need Avatar: The Last Airbender to be presented in a mature and adult way. Why? They're ruining it. I would have liked this series to be a cover, honestly, not a freaking remix, not a trap remix. Okay, not a freaking bass boosted remix. The story itself has some mature themes throughout. You see, exactly. It says here the story has mature themes throughout, but we were going one step further. Is this going to freaking involve scenes of Sokka and freaking who was that girl? Suki. Suki and Sokka? Are they going to show that scene in the tent? Where Zuko accidentally went into the tent and Sokka was like holding a rose. And that was definitely not kid friendly. And I think they're going to include that, which is wow, finally. Finally one more sex scene. One more sex scene in another goddamn Netflix show. Sex scene really, really important for the story. Man, I cannot tell you how much I love sex scenes, because they just show how much the characters grow. They're so important for the story. Because we get to understand what happens from something. Oh man. I can't even put it into words because sex scenes are so important. Netflix and fucking sex scenes, man. I hate it. Okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, personally, I absolutely detest sex scenes. Okay, they are completely unnecessary for me. They just seem like gratuitous. I don't know, indulgence. I don't know what's the word for it. Just fan service or gratuitousness from the showrunners. I mean, completely unnecessary. That's why I mean most good movies they just start with the people kissing and going on the bed, and then just freaking skips. But Netflix just cannot help. I mean, why are we even talking about this when they're probably not gonna add a sex scene? But by the way, I digress. I digress severely. But anyway, we're going one step further. Are they going to include a killing or what? What are they going to include in this kids show? We're going to actually show it. Supposed to just talk about it. They can handle this kind of material even at a young age. What the hell do you mean by that? What do you mean by they can handle this mature stuff at a young age? What do they mean by that? This is going to be the greatest remake of all time. And they're going to subject kids to some pretty nasty stuff, I guess. Like, damn. I cannot wait for February 22 or 24, whatever it was. Guys, I mean, come on. Let's be excited about this monumental occasion. This is going to be the freaking magnum opus of all Netflix. Yeah, even better than Squid Game or whatever the heck they do. I don't know. I don't have Netflix. But yeah, this I can't wait, guys. Just remember, this is going to be the greatest show of all time. This Avatar remake is definitely gonna be really good.